Well, one of the three of us get to experience playoff joy this year.
Changing here. McDavid, beautiful move. Front back the ball, over to Crosby. He scores! Crosby, 500! Watch this play between the legs, comes right back to him.
But man, oh man, has his kid got some hands.
In the net, it looks like he's going for the old Michigan. He brings it up. Miller goes to knock it off. He shoots it in front.
Oh, what a pass!
Away, gains the zone around Kubalik. Back to Foligno. He scores! A lot of mustard on it.
Ovechkin scores! The Grade 8 Express pulls into third place all time.
This is the Pucked Up Podcast.
Welcome back, Mother Puckers. Welcome back to the Pucked Up Podcast. I am your host, D-Bag. I am joined by the ever beautiful Danger Water and our illustrious captain, Chris. Which, sometimes I'm like, I really should be saying his name because it sounds so weird if I don't. But then I'm like, no, I sound like an idiot if I say Finjiff.
Yeah, I mean, that's
I need to get my
fair.
shit together.
That's fair.
Well, and
I
it's
mean,
Chris
like,
on there.
And it's Chris.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you know
I'm
what?
Finjiff everywhere that it
didn't even read that.
matters, but I'm Chris here.
You're Chris in my heart.
You
Always.
can call me whatever the fuck you want as long as you don't call me late for dinner.
Right?
Hey, never not
Just
once.
Don't call me Shirley and don't call me late for dinner.
Boom.
There you go. Well, guys, we are sorry we missed last week. As we've talked about on the podcast, we're all fucking grown adults that have lives and shit. So
Yeah,
Right.
sometimes we got adult shit that we need to take care of, you know?
we do, in fact, be having adult shit.
Or we just need a break, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that too. And we're about to head into playoff hockey here soon. So you guys will have your content. Sit down, buckle up, yada yada. It'll be fine. Cry about it. You know what I mean?
It's gonna be okay. I promise.
It's
It'll
gonna
be okay.
I promise you. I promise. Well, to start today off, I wanted to talk about whether or not we were geniuses. And I think some of the times we were, and then other of the times we were really fucking far
I
off.
have never been happier to be so very wrong,
Yeah.
Yeah.
especially with my Stanley Cup. Chris was nice enough to
Well-
dig up our info from that.
Yeah. Shout out to
Solid.
Chris because I was like, I don't know how I'm going to get that info. I guess I have to go back and watch it. And shout out to
I know,
Chris for actually
that's what
doing
I was
that.
thinking too. I'm like,
I've-
that's what,
yeah.
like, maybe we'll talk about it next week when I have time to go back.
Just sit down and do it. Yeah.
In my busy ass workday today, I managed to find 20 minutes to sit and go back in our first episode of Pucked Up to find our predictions of the preseason that we thought would happen this year.
Yeah.
It was disappointment for teams that would disappoint, a surprise team that we think would do well, and our Stanley Cup winners.
Right.
Which, I mean, first of all, thank you for doing that because I know we are long-winded bitches. So I know that wasn't like a 5-minute exploration to figure
Yeah, it
out.
honestly wasn't too bad. It really wasn't
Really?
too bad. Yeah,
Okay.
we
Maybe
didn't
you
talk that
edited
much.
it more.
That's probably
You
what
must
happens.
have edited it down, honestly, because I remember talking about this shit a lot.
Right.
All right, so let's get started with it. Let's talk about the disappointing teams first because fucking surprises on there for sure. So I said that I thought the New York Islanders were gonna suck ass, and guess what?
How'd that
They're
go?
fourth in the Metropolitan Division.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
They've all but
There's
locked
that.
up a playoff spot.
Right.
yeah, exactly. So I was wrong, and I will admit that publicly. You're welcome. Chris, do you want to talk about who you thought was gonna be disappointing?
Yeah, so, and I listened back to what I said, and I don't know if I'm wrong yet. I said that the Vegas Golden Knights were going to disappoint in the sense that they were going to fall apart either at the end of the season and blow their massive,
Mhm.
points lead that they had in the
103
Pacific,
points lead. Yeah.
or just like choke in the playoffs. That being said, they are fourth in the NHL.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I wasn't sure what Jack Eichel we were going to get this year, and we got Yeah, we got, we got Jack
We got Jack
Eichel
Eichel.
murdering. Yeah, so I mean, I like Vegas. I'm happily wrong there. I
Yeah.
hope that this is the year they can finally take care of business. But yeah, they looked good this season.
Mm-hmm.
Danger. How about you?
And I said the Maple Leafs. But I'm also from Minnesota, so we don't like the Maple Leafs around here.
Fair. It might be a little
It might
bit
be a little
biased.
biased.
Also, to
and
be fair to you, you did say that you don't think they were going to be bad this season. You just didn't expect them to make a deep playoff run, which is fair
right,
if you
Which
look
is
at
fair.
their past few years. They haven't made it out of the first
right,
round, so that's
Yeah.
that's honestly a fair take.
yeah, and with some of the other shit that has gone on with them this season, I don't think it's a bad way to look at things either.
Yeah.
No,
Absolutely.
But I'm not overly upset with what I said on that
Yeah.
one. Actually,
No.
not anybody.
honestly, and D with you, I can't really say that was a horrible thought because
wasn't.
like no
No.
one
No.
was really sure what the Islanders are going to bring to the table this year.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and
And I
obviously,
mean, they pulled it out.
right, and this was their second year without Jordan Eberle, who actually had a
Mhm.
presence with the Islanders, and I mean, I didn't expect them to get Bo Horvat, but no,
Right.
I'd
Right.
say I'm pleasantly surprised with the Islanders, and it's great to see them back as a top 16 team.
Yeah.
I think
So I
it's
guess,
important for the
like-
league when the two big New York teams are doing well.
New York has too many teams. Like they can just fucking cut it down. Like let's be honest. They can.
That's fair.
They need to chill.
have
They got fucking the
3.
Sabres, they got the Islanders, and they got the fucking Rangers. Like, and then you have New Jersey right next door. Like
which
y'all
is-
need to
yeah,
sit a
which
second.
is New York Junior.
It legit. Baby New York. All right, so let's go into some of the surprise teams. So Danger, you thought the Blue Jackets were going to surprise us.
Yeah. I mean, I was wrong.
I mean, they
But it was
surprised us
okay.
all right.
It surprised us, just not in the way we originally thought.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's fair. So I wasn't wrong. Damn it. I knew all along.
They
Gonna
did surprise
say-
us.
It did surprise us, just not in the good way.
But I mean, again, to
But-
Danger's credit, like we
Yeah,
expected
you
Johnny
could not have
Gaudreau to
seen
have a
it.
bigger impact on that team.
We
That's
for
true.
sure fucking
That's
did.
very true.
Yeah. I mean, you could not have
that's-
suspected that the rest of the team would just fucking implode.
Yeah, literally.
They only
They're
have
thir-
56 points. Like,
They're
Jesus
tied
Christ,
for
dude.
30th
Yeah.
in the league. Like,
Yeah.
it's not good.
It's awful.
Columbus,
And
fix
Chris,
your
you
shit.
thought the Sabres, too, were going to surprise us.
And I mean,
I'm
I'm
talking
not
about-
wrong. They're,
You're not wrong because of Tage Thompson. I feel like Tage
well-
Thompson is really what did Buffalo a huge favor early on in the season.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not wrong in the sense that they took a massive fucking leap from last season.
They did.
This team
100%
has
they
made
did.
leaps and bounds, and right now, if you think about it, they're technically still only 6 points out of a wild card spot.
Yeah.
It's realistic that they can still technically make the playoffs, which I said I didn't think they were going to do, but I said that they were gonna make that bigger,
They were gonna make a
that
showing.
next step, and I really think
Yeah.
they did. I think the only thing that they need is goaltending, and that team is solid.
Which I think we're going to
Yeah.
see happen over the summer, which I'm
I
excited
hope.
to get to cover that a little bit later.
Right.
Not like this
Yeah.
episode, just in life,
Right.
later in life. Um,
Fair.
And then I said, this was the most winningest, I think, in terms
Yeah,
of
yeah.
predictions. I said that Boston was going to surprise the shit out of us, and boy, did they. They currently
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
125 fucking points. They have clinched the
Yeah.
President's Trophy. The next closest team is the Hurricanes, which have 109. They have, they were the quickest team to get to 60 games, 60 wins, I should say.
Yeah.
By a long shot, too.
Dude, that
They
team.
are they're fucking murdering people this year.
It's
like,
not even
legit.
close. They
No.
are hands down the best team in the NHL right now.
And it's like they were not this good last year. They were
No.
good, but they
Yeah,
were
they were
not
definitely good.
this dominating last year. So I'm just gonna,
I
pat
do
myself on the back.
100%. And
Yeah.
we've discussed this before, and I think it's the same with the same with the Bruins as it is for a team like the Rangers. With all of the power and what they've done this season, it is championship or bust. It is either
Dude.
you win the cup or this is a failure of a season at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, yes. Yes. So I guess speaking of the cup, that brings us to our last category. I predicted that the Hurricanes were going to take it, which may still happen. They are, like I said, they're in that second position with 109 points.
Well, and they won. They're basically wrapped up the Metro division. Like,
oh, 100% they have. Yeah. Well, I mean, New Jersey is sitting at 106, so there's still some competition there, but
with a few games left,
with a few games left. So Carolina still has a huge chance. Danger, what about you?
Right. Well, this is where I said I've never been happier to be so very wrong. Because I thought that the Blues were going to have a better shot at it, and thankfully they've been eliminated.
Yeah, they're not even going to make the fucking playoffs.
Last year.
No.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're not even close.
Yeah, so I am very happy to say that. I was not also expecting them to get rid of like 2 or 3 of their best players either.
Yeah.
So that the trades really fucked up my whole line of thinking when I said that initially.
Yeah.
I will at least give myself a little bit of credit on that one because I don't think anybody anticipated them trading Ryan O'Reilly away.
No.
Well, not only that, but we also, all 3 of us agreed we thought that they had a shot depending on what Jordan Binnington we saw this year. And he was incredibly inconsistent, as well as a problem for the team.
You know?
Right.
So
that's suspended, all of that. Yeah.
When your starting goaltender is part of your problem, you're gonna eliminate yourself. They shot themselves in the foot this season. So
very much so.
I wonder how they rebound. Is my question.
And I don't know. It's gonna be a couple of, I would think at least one season, if not more, of rebuilding to get them back into the position that they were in last season or the season before last. You know.
Yeah, and I mean they have a lot of pieces still. But...
Yeah, but they were such a strong contender for playoffs for the last few years. It's weird to not see them in the picture at all.
Well, they
which
won
is
the
a
cup
good thing for the
years
Wild
ago, too,
because
so...
they typically end up eliminating the Wild. So to not have them in the playoff picture is definitely a good thing for us.
Yeah, they are not a problem for you anymore.
We're gonna Vegas is our new issue, so we've got to figure out Vegas's number.
Yeah.
And then, Chris, how are you feeling about your potential Stanley Cup winner pick?
So I predicted the Oilers to win it. And I said this knowing that they were like a piece short last year. Like they just needed, it was the goaltending that really hurt them. And goaltending kind of hurt them again this year for the most part when they went out and signed Campbell. But dude, Stuart Skinner has been the shining light for that team. And 100% that team still has a shot because McJesus himself decided he wanted to have 135,000 fucking points this year.
Right. Yeah. He was like, hold on, let me walk on water real fast for you guys.
It's like legitimately what he's done this year.
Yeah.
But like even with that, they're still in 8th overall.
Right.
Yeah, and he's got 146 fucking points this year.
Yeah, which again, I think really just speaks to, and we've talked about it so many times, that one person can't carry a team. Like they can get you pretty goddamn far.
Yeah,
but you need like a
when
whole
it's somebody
fucking...
like McJesus here.
Yeah,
no, but
absolutely.
When the top 2 players in the league points wise are both fucking Edmonton Oilers players, because I don't know if you know this, but Leon Draisaitl's only 26 points behind fucking McDavid. So
I know, but again, even with that, they don't even get close to Boston's numbers.
No, God, no.
They're 26 points behind.
No. Yeah,
which is crazy to me. That is insane that they're still 26 points behind the number 1 league in the team.
Yeah, the whole team.
Team in the league. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. And they have 2 of the best scoring and points putter-uppers in the league as well. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's a technical term.
Yeah.
I think it 100% can happen. I don't think it's crazy to say that the Oilers are going to win the cup. I don't think it's
Yeah.
insane because they're third in the division. They have just about as good a shot as anyone in the Western Conference right now, and it's the playoffs. Anything can happen, and we've seen this. We've seen this plenty of times
We've seen it.
recently. Anything can happen. So
We've seen
I don't feel as
But-
confident as I felt at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
But I am still 100% confident in what was my prediction. Not even halfway through the season, I predicted David was going to win the Hart. There's no fucking question he doesn't win the Hart Trophy this year.
Right.
If he doesn't,
Right.
it's if he doesn't, it's the biggest fucking like atrocity to ever happen to like
Yeah.
awards. There's no way anyone else has deserved it more than Connor McDavid. Maybe
So I
Linus
think-
Ullmark. But-
Absolutely. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, I think at this point though, we should make new predictions as to who we think are going to be in the final cup game, which 2 teams.
Oh.
And see how we fare with those. If you had to pick 2 teams, who do you think is making it to that final Stanley Cup game? Out of
That's
who's
tough.
confirmed now, which right now we only have 11
Boston.
teams confirmed to have
Yeah.
clinched a spot.
Yeah.
The only
So-
ones that haven't clinched are playoff teams and Colorado.
Yeah. Absolutely. So like out of the 11 we have, which honestly, if you haven't clinched it yet, I'm sorry, I'm not giving you a great. I don't think you're gonna. We've seen it, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
Right.
no,
Yeah.
oh,
No,
yeah,
I agree. I mean, the obvious pick is Boston, right?
Obvious. Yeah.
That
would be more
I-
shocking
I
if
don't-
Boston doesn't make it to the final game.
Right? No shit. Like something's gotta completely implode
Yeah.
for Boston to not go. Trying to think of who else. Like, it's the second one that's the hard one.
Yeah, who's going to
Yeah.
come out of the West?
Well, I mean, not even necessarily out of the West, because we could see 2 East teams in it.
No, you can't.
Wait, no, we
Stanley
can't.
Cup Finals? No.
No, we can't.
No, we can't.
It's not. It's
Ah.
say it's not the bubble.
Yeah,
anymore.
No, I
Yeah.
wasn't thinking.
I
Yeah.
actually, well, maybe. Hold on. I gotta look at injuries first here.
Oh.
You want me to go?
Yeah.
So
Chris,
I'm
go
gonna
ahead.
make a very bold prediction.
Uh-huh.
I'm not picking Boston.
Who are you
Okay.
picking?
I'm gonna say it's the Rangers.
Really?
Listen, the
Really?
Rangers added massive
Really?
offensive weapons, which is what they lacked last season. Last season, they relied heavily on Shesterkin. This year, they're not. That's a huge thing, and
Yeah.
I'm.
I
You know
still
what,
don't know
I'm
that they're gonna
hoping-
be able to take it.
Yeah.
I want to be confident enough to say absolutely Boston, but again, like we've said several times, I just don't have the confidence in them to get it done this year because they haven't gotten it done when it mattered the past like 5 years. They've had such a great team.
Yeah,
and
but
they
they've
just
never been
haven't
as
done
good
it.
as they are this
Yeah.
year.
This year
Well,
they've
no,
got
they've
some
never been as
fucking
good.
magic
But
juice.
the playoffs
Yeah.
is a whole different animal in itself, you know.
It is.
Right.
Yeah.
And anything can happen.
Right,
I mean,
but-
fuck. Remember when the Lightning won the President's Trophy and they were eliminated first? They were swept first round by Columbus. That happened
Mhm.
recently. You know, so anything
Yeah.
can happen. But I'll take
Right.
the Rangers. And you know what? Yeah, I the best thing would to say Edmonton because like that's who I picked. But I think this is Dallas's year. In the
Okay.
West, I
Dallas.
think Dallas is the team in the West
Fuck
that
Dallas.
hey, listen, you can get mad or you can realize that they're good too.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
like, arguably we're better than Dallas. Arguably.
We'll
when
see.
we're in our top form, we are better than Dallas.
Oh,
and I
we'll-
will
we will
incite
see.
a lot of Dallas fans on that, and I know that. But
right.
and not to say that like because we fall apart in playoffs. So I'm not even talking about the Wild in playoffs, right? I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like, I think the Kings are gonna take it for the West.
I don't. I'm not confident enough in the Kings' ability, and from every time I've seen them play,
They're
I
at
don't
100 points.
like.
They're 1 point behind Vegas, and they have less injuries than Vegas does.
Right, but the team itself is not as experienced in the playoffs right now. They don't have a lot of people left on that
That doesn't
team from
always
their cup
matter,
runs.
that doesn't always
No,
matter.
it doesn't.
I mean, if
but
to play devil's advocate,
yeah,
like, I just think you like arguing with everything that I say.
that is
I think
not
if
even remotely true.
I think if
You
we're
are
saying New
100%
York has a
about
chance to
Dallas
take it,
and Boston.
then Kings have a chance to take it. Like, I think that
Yep.
those two are operating
That's
on
a
the
fair
same
thing.
level.
I
Yeah,
mean,
very
and
fair.
that's the beauty of the playoffs is there's not a team in that's gonna be there that doesn't have a shot. You know,
I'm saying
Right.
Tampa Bay doesn't make it. I'm throwing that out there.
I don't think they will this year.
I don't think they're going to make it past the first round. If they make it, I mean, they're dying out at the second round. But I think it's going to come down to Boston and maybe the Kings. I want to say Vegas
Okay.
just because I want to give them another chance.
Right. Yeah.
But
I
at
mean,
the
and I
same
would be fine
time,
with
I think
Vegas
Vegas is
too.
going to fucking flame out. So
Exactly. That was my exact point of why I thought they would disappoint this year. Because I think once they get to the playoffs, it's just they just can't get it done.
they can't.
Here's a
So.
good question. Who's your
mean,
dark
yeah.
horse? A team that you just out of left field think that they could be the Cinderella story to go to the Cup Finals this year?
The
Jersey.
And that's not
New
only
Jersey.
because I'm a Wild fan. It's
I
what did you
would like
say?
to see a New Jersey versus
Yeah.
the Wild.
Yeah.
That would be an
Yeah.
interesting.
That
That
would be an
Jersey,
interesting
interesting
fucking
finals.
Yeah, it
Because
would.
yeah,
I
we
don't know who
play
would
them
win that.
very often.
I don't know who would win that either.
Yeah.
Yeah. And New Jersey this year is unlike they've been in recent history, right?
In the past
Yeah.
like
And the
10 years,
Wild-
yeah, that team
Yeah.
was
Yeah,
really
yeah.
fucking good this year.
And the Wild, everybody at least up here is saying like it's so reminiscent of the 2003-2004 team that
Mhm.
made it to third round, and I think we got eliminated.
Well, because this year
No.
you guys have
What
chemistry. Like
Yeah.
We
you
have
guys
chemistry,
are playing as a
and we added
cohesive
some
unit this
great,
year.
yeah, and we added some great players with the trades that we made.
Yeah.
And they're all playing very well together. So I think also having, some guys that have been around the NHL a while come to us.
Yeah.
Like Klingberg, Nyquist really impressed me with, like, he's been traveling with the team just to help get to know the guys better.
Yeah.
You got
But
JoJo
yeah,
back.
I mean, yeah, Cinderella story, I think this year, and not only because I'm a Wild fan, but I think that Wild could get it. As a Wild fan, I'm not getting my hopes up too high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
You-
I know Chris had
I was
mentioned
just-
having Dave on, and I was like, no, don't want Dave on, because Dave's going to look at the stats, and he's going to tell me that the Wild have no chance of winning. And he looked at me and goes, I don't even have to look at the stats to tell you that the Wild have no chance of winning. And I go, see? Fuck you.
Fuck you.
That's not why I want you on my
Yeah.
podcast. Now go away. Go sit in the corner or something.
You guys ready for mine?
But no, like, I would love to see it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean
Yeah,
it'd be cool to
sure.
see the Wild.
Being a realistic Wild fan.
My
I'm also
complete dark horse Cinderella team to make the Cup Finals. Seattle. Seattle is playing
love
real
that.
well this year, and they've beaten
They
a lot
are,
of these
but they-
teams in the West that they've gotten that they'd be coming up against. I
Yeah.
think it's not crazy to say that there's a chance they could get that far. I don't think they'd win it, but I think that there's a good chance, especially if Beniers keeps playing the way he has been, the way McCann's been playing, Eberle, Ryan Donato. Like, if their team
Yeah.
continues to
Donato,
fire on all
man.
cylinders, I don't
I
see
miss
why it
Donato.
couldn't happen,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know? And they fucking
Okay.
completely 180'd from last season. Like, this is such a
Yeah.
huge step forward.
Yeah.
I wasn't even expecting.
Right.
I think we can all agree, though, Winnipeg's not going to go far.
No. And unfortunately, we do have some sad news today, in that neither Chris's team nor officially my team is making the playoffs.
I mean, was mine any question?
No, but I just wanted to
No.
include you.
Right.
You know what? It is. I'm just happy to be included.
Happy to be included. This is the first time in 8 years that we're not even making the playoffs, and this is our worst
Yeah.
season in 16 years. We fucking fell apart, and it's more than just injuries. It's also, I mean, players who just were not playing up to their potential.
Right.
Trading fucking Orlov and Hathaway to Boston was great for fucking them, but it sucked for us.
Yeah, you just help them out.
And I
Yeah.
understand why we had to do it, but at the same time, like, fuck, man, that hurts. And I
Yeah,
think
it
that
sucks.
after this
Right.
year, for me personally, there's no way Lavi comes back as the coach. This is his third year in a row where we either got kicked out in the first round or didn't fucking make it. And that typically means it's sayonara for the head coach,
Right. Yeah.
which I'm kind of okay with. As much as I loved Lavi, and I think he did something that was needed for us, I think it's time to try somebody new.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, and we
Yeah.
were, I mean, the Wild were real close to not clinching our playoff spot either. And lost. So we were on the streak of, we had 20 games. We hadn't lost a game since like February 17th. We had a 20-game winning streak until we played Vegas, which is why
Right.
I'm mad about Vegas being
Yeah.
pick. But that, I mean, I like Vegas as a team. I just hate that they played better than us twice in a row, because we had to play them in Vegas, and then like 2 days later we played them here, and they beat us both times.
Yeah.
But I was just gonna say, in comparatively, because we, we're so close, and they kept seeing everywhere. Like, we've now made the playoffs the last 10 times in the last 11 years.
Yep.
Which,
that's an
much
awesome
like
stat,
Dee,
you
so
know?
Right.
it really is. But like Dee, saying about the last 8 years of making the playoffs, like, I can definitely identify the sadness.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, do you guys want me to review my season? Because we looked like a group of kids that were playing hockey for the first time against the state champion Pee Wee team. We got fucked, and not in the fun way.
Oh my God. That's
No,
so
I
fucking
mean,
accurate.
how
though,
do you want
Chris.
me to
Like,
say it? Like, I hate
that's
to
the
be
only
this
way you can say it.
judgmental, but they fucking sucked this year, and they honestly, they should all be fucking ashamed of themselves. Because,
I mean,
did I
you
expect
played
them to
worse
be
than
fucking...
the Coyotes in Mullet
Yeah.
Arena. So,
Like, do I expect them to win the President's Trophy this year? No, but I expected them to be like in a hunt for the wild card, and they looked worse than they looked last year after the All-Star break. The second half of last season, they looked worse than that. And I don't know what the fucking problem is, but they need to figure this out. And it has nothing to do with our aging vets. I think it could be coaching. I think it's just poor line setup. I honestly not sure that we weren't tanking on purpose. I don't know.
Right.
I mean, and again, with Connor Bedard, like, you can't...
Connor Bedard is like such a high profile fucking prospect that it's like, I can understand if they were doing it on purpose. I could understand, but like,
but that doesn't make it okay. Like,
no, but like, at the end of the day, if they don't do something in the fucking off season, I'm gonna be livid, because this shit, it's not acceptable anymore. Like, I understand we're in a rebuild. It takes a little bit of time. Sure. But what I expect every year during a rebuild is progress. And when you take a step back, and not only a step back, but like a massive fucking step back,
well, and
you
like,
can't expect your fans to be happy about it, you know?
Yeah, you guys are in 31st technically, because your goal differential is -122. Boston's is +120. Like, that's how bad you guys are sucking. And the person in last place, Chicago, is only at -91.
Yeah.
So you have like almost 30 whole points of difference there.
And it makes it
between you and
breaks
last
my
place.
heart. It breaks my heart, because John Gibson deserves better than that. John Gibson is one of the top 10 goaltenders in the league, and anyone who's ever watched the guy play will not disagree with me. This year, no, he wasn't. But not all of that was his fault. That man was standing on his fucking head all year, and he's got no defensive help.
I was gonna say, if your defense doesn't show the fuck up, then
and we have great defensive players, but they weren't even remotely in the vicinity of like being helpful this year. And honestly, I wouldn't be upset if John Gibson requests a trade in the offseason. I genuinely, I'd be sad, but I wouldn't be upset, because I understand, because you can't put someone of his caliber in that position and expect him to stay happy. He is a competitive
Right.
guy, and he just wants to win and be good for his team. Yeah, he's
Mhm.
had.
Right.
I think he leads the league in saves or something like that. But that's also
Yeah.
not talking about how many fucking shots he takes every night. The
Yeah.
dude makes
Right.
40, 50 saves a game. Yeah, but he's also letting in 7 because the
Right.
defense doesn't want to help him. No goaltender
Right.
should take that. You guys
Mhm.
wanted spicy me? Here.
That's a
You get it now
spicy.
that we're talking. I'm disappointed. Like the whole
Yeah.
season I've been making the jokes because what else am I gonna do? They suck, but like this shit ain't okay. So
Right.
whatever they need to do, if Dallas Aikens has to go, Dallas Aikens has to go. I get it,
Yeah.
but big shit needs to change this summer because Anaheim fans ain't gonna stick by this bullshit for too long.
No.
Right.
No. And again, like you said, if you have an NHL team that is playing in a literal college arena and they're doing better than you, that's a fucking
Yeah.
problem when you're one of the most like
Yeah.
prestigious in terms of like everybody knows the Anaheim Ducks.
We've
Like
won a cup,
you're yeah, you are
Yeah.
long standing. You are a team that has always done well. You're a franchise that has so much support, and to like be shitting the bed that bad.
Yeah, and
It
like
is
Right.
frankly fucking embarrassing.
and like the talent was there. We saw it in a lot of
Yeah.
games. They took Boston to a fucking shootout.
You have fucking Trevor
Yeah.
And they
Zegras, who is just out there inventing new
Yeah.
ways to score goals
Trevor
every fucking
Zegras,
Right.
Troy
day.
Terry, Jamie Drysdale, like they have a great young group of players. But
Yeah,
God, you gotta fucking put it together. And at
right.
some point,
Right.
it's gotta come together. And they didn't get better throughout the season, which
Mhm.
makes it so much worse. They got worse throughout the season. Yeah, they had
Right.
points where they were
Which
winning a bunch of games, and that's great. But you gotta play better all year.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I'm on like a different side of that because my team started out as like, meh, okay, not a great start, not a bad start, definitely doable. December, we came out fucking burning the goddamn house down. We were doing so well. And
Mhm.
then January hits, and suddenly it's like they don't know how to skate anymore. They don't know how to
Yeah.
play. They have no hustle. Like it's the wheels totally fucking fell off. So you were like disappointed. You're like, yeah, whatever. I can make jokes about it the whole season. Whereas I was like, no, like we still have a chance to be good and do all this shit.
Yeah.
And then fucking 3 months of just like sadness
At
every
point?
game.
At what point do you start questioning whether or not all of the history chasing for Ovechkin started to change the way the team played?
So genuinely, I don't think that was as much of an impact because we played worse without him when he
Right.
was out for his family issues, and then he's had a couple of health things this year. We genuinely were way, way worse. I
And I
think there
think
was
that
a little
speaks
bit of focus for
volumes.
some people. Yeah, absolutely. Like he is a leader for our team. He is someone that the guys rely on more than just for the on ice stuff. Like they rely on him for direction and advice and all of that stuff. I think for
Right.
us, the larger issue was we never had set lines. Like
Right.
we were shuffling them so much. And then you're bringing people in who, like, they get a couple of good looks, but when you're chasing a cup, you're playing veterans. And so you're not
Right.
going to give the good looks to the young kids. And I think that
Right.
that created an atmosphere that it just contributed to us falling down when it mattered the most, when
Plus,
we
you
needed
guys
those
were
people to step
riddled
up.
with fucking injuries. Not only
Yeah.
injuries, you guys, your star players were hurt for a vast majority of the season.
Yeah.
And that
And
pays
we have a
dividends.
couple more
Look at
out right
Colorado.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't think that Ovechkin's chase of Gretzky is that much of an impact. Like, I don't think that were he, still 200 goals away, I think we would have had a very similar season.
It's fair.
But
Danger,
again, to me, it's just
oh, sorry.
it's just coaching and injuries.
Yeah.
Right.
Danger,
And
here's
Danger,
the
I
real
feel like
question.
Mhm.
Like, your team is the only team to make the playoffs out of the 3 of ours, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
Where do you think they stack up in the Western Conference right now?
It's a tight race in the Western Conference right now. I mean, because
It is.
us, Colorado and Dallas have been fighting for first. And comparatively, like, to the Pacific Division, they're all a couple points ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even then, I mean, the Vegas is up at the highest for the Western Conference with 101, and the lowest is at 96. So it's really not a huge gap of points either.
Right.
But yeah, it's a tight race. I think once we get Kirill back, we get Nyquist back. Unfortunately, Shaw's going to be out for the rest of the year.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he tore his ACL, which we'll talk about later.
Yeah.
But which is heartbreaking. But
It
thankfully,
is.
our GM did say, because people were like, at the end of the year, he's a restricted free agent. So people were really worried because he just earned a spot on the team from Iowa. And he, Guerin said, he doesn't have anything to worry about. We're going to sign him no matter what. Guys like him, you make a spot for, or you find a place for. So that really speaks highly of Mason Shaw. So I'm really happy that we're not going to lose him on the team. In general, there is he's had a few ACL tears. This is his fourth. We just don't know the breakdown of how many in each knee. So there's potential that it could be career ending, but if Guerin's talking like that already, it doesn't sound like it will be.
Yeah.
Do
That's
we want
tough,
to quickly go over
But yeah,
our team's
it's tight. I don't
AHL
know.
affiliates?
Our team's what?
Yeah.
Our team's AHL affiliates and where they're at in the standings for seasons?
I don't
I don't
where
even
the
know.
Iowa Wild are.
I can
right
tell
now.
you the San Diego Gulls are 10th and last in the Pacific Division. Iowa Wild are 4th in the Central, and the Hershey Bears claimed top spot in the Atlantic Division.
Oh, yeah.
Good for
I did know
the
that.
Bears. I like the Hershey Bears.
I love the Hershey Bears.
Oh, they've got a really
I
good
just think it's
spot.
a cute mascot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. If nothing else,
If nothing else, it's a cute mascot.
Hey,
And that's what we're
you
about
know,
Well, and I like what they do with, getting all the
yeah.
stuffed animals. And
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just cute. They seem like a great organization in general. So
They are. Yeah.
I
They're really
will
awesome.
will give Anaheim credit though. At least with the AHL and the NHL, they're consistent.
right.
Consistently bad.
Consistently bad, but like, hey. Yeah.
But yeah. Listen, I'm excited for the playoffs because
I am.
honestly anything can happen this year. There's a lot of great teams.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think we are going to see some upsets.
Oh yeah.
But I don't think it's going to be like I don't know. We talked about the dark horses earlier, but I don't think it's going to be anything crazy.
So for suspensions, we really only have one new one, or actually, it's not even. Oh no, it was a suspension. I can fucking read. So March 25th, Blake Lizotte from the Kings did get fined or suspended for 1 game for cross-checking Josh Morrissey. I missed that game. I was out of the state, so.
Did we? And then there was also one on the 23rd too, AJ Greer.
I think we talked about AJ Greer.
I don't.
But
think
if
so,
not,
because
he
we
got
recorded
also
on
got
the
suspended for 1
21st.
game. Oh yeah, that's right. So AJ Greer also got suspended 1 game for cross-checking Mike Hoffman.
Yeah.
Which I didn't see that hit either, but
I didn't either.
AJ Greer's 1 game suspension cost him $4,121.62 of his salary. Blake Lizotte, who I believe is a Minnesota native, he lost $9,054.05.
Yeah, dude, that's a lot of money
for that, right? Like, damn.
Ouch.
But good on Blake. Like, I'm happy for him for making that much money. But god damn, maybe don't cross-check people, dude.
Yeah. Also, don't be an idiot.
And that was brutal. He straight up right in the face for no reason too. Yeah, I briefly watched that game, and it was on a face-off. He was just messing with the stick, and Greer came up and bow, and I was like, dude, that's not cool. Like, fucked his
Yeah.
jaw up and his teeth. It was not good.
Yeah. That's not
Oh, I
fair.
think that was the one that I saw that maybe I sent you guys the Twitter
Yeah.
post of like, he gets one
Yeah.
game and this is what my face looks like.
Oh,
okay, that
yeah.
was him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
that was
Greer
fucked
should have
up.
gotten at least 3 games. Was
At
like
least
I was
3
like, you should
games.
have gotten at least 3. That's one game.
Because that was
isn't it?
fucking intentional. Yeah.
Oh, it was
that was
so
not
bad.
like, that was bad. That was really
Yeah.
bad.
I've lost my kitten. Anyway, so
Oh,
for
no.
injuries, and I said kind of before we started, I'm just really gonna go like the major injuries. If people are coming back this week, I'm not gonna talk about it just to keep
Yeah.
my brain functional for in the most part.
That's fair.
But and some of these might be updates. But Jamie Drysdale for Anaheim has a torn labrum in his left shoulder. He's going to be out for the season. And I think that was the only new one there. For Arizona, we have Zach Cassian is out of commission with an upper body ailment. No timetable right now for his return. So not necessarily out for this season, but he is out indefinitely as of right now.
Yep.
This one surprised me. I hadn't heard, but Patrice Bergeron was hurt. I'm breaking my own rule because he's probable for this week, but I hadn't heard that he had gotten hurt, but he was out
Yeah.
at
He's
least
also a big
2
name.
games. So
Yeah.
big name. So I wanted to bring him up. Derek Forbort, he has a lower body injury. He's going to be out for the rest of the year as well.
Great last
Taylor
name.
Hall is going to be out for at least a couple of weeks. He's listed as long-term IR with a lower body injury. For Buffalo, we have Vinny Sorosa. I can't say that name. But good old Vinny, he is out dealing with a personal matter. So he is right now listed as out indefinitely. Calgary doesn't have anybody new, even injured right now. It's still just Oliver Kylington, who has been out for this season as of the beginning of March. So good on Calgary for keeping their guys healthy.
Yeah.
For Carolina, we do have Andre Kase, who should be back mid-April, and that just got updated the 31st of March, so I wanted to bring him up because we talked about him a couple of times. For Chicago, we have Colin Blackwell. He had a hernia surgery, and he will be out most likely for the rest of this season, as is Philip
Kurashev.
Thank you. My tongue today is just not having any of the words that I want to say. But he has a shoulder injury, so he's going to be out for the rest of the year. For Colorado, nobody knew for their team, unfortunately. For Columbus, we have Nick Blankenberg. He is out with an ankle injury. He is right now considered week to week, but is also listed as being out indefinitely. So who the fuck knows anymore?
Right.
Eric Gunbrinson, he separated his shoulder, so he is going to be out for the rest of this season, which sucks. Patrick Lane has a tricep strain, so he will be out for 2 to 4 weeks. So about late April is when he's expected to return back. And I know we talked about Elvis Merzlikins. Again, my fucking
good
enough,
close enough.
Yeah.
He has a leg injury, but is listed as out indefinitely. And Matthew Olivier is out with a lower body injury, expected also to miss 2 to 4 weeks. So that puts him at late April.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody knew for Dallas either. Damn it.
Wow.
Another unfortunately. For Detroit, we have Robbie Fabry is out with a lower body injury. He will be out for the rest of this season, as is Philip Zendina with a lower body injury, and he is out for the season. For Edmonton, both Ryan McLeod and Ryan Murray are both out till mid-April. McLeod is out with an upper body injury, and Ryan Murray has a back injury, so they're out for another couple of weeks here. For Florida, we have, or for the Panthers, I should say, Sam Bennett. He is out indefinitely with an undefined issue. And for LA, no long-term injuries. Everybody for LA that's hurt right now is questionable for tonight's game. So hopefully their team is getting healthier.
Yeah.
For Minnesota, both Kirill Kaprizov and Gustav Nyquist are expected back mid-April. I know Kaprizov started skating yesterday, and there actually was a super cute picture of him before he got cleared to skate. He was at a practice, just like with his tennis shoes on, and he was like on the bench side of the door with the door open with his stick on the ice trying to play with the boy. And I saw it when I was down at Dave's house, and I was like, this is a kid that just really fucking loves to play hockey. And it's clear, especially with that, but he wanted to be back with the team so bad. And then, like I did say earlier, Mason Shaw is out for the rest of the season with a torn ACL in his right knee. And it was a nasty hit.
Yeah.
Montreal, I'm pretty sure they don't even have a fucking hockey team anymore with all of these injuries.
Yeah.
I think it's just their AHL team at this point.
Yeah,
legit.
basically.
For real.
Caden
Holy shit.
Gooley is now out for this season due to a high ankle sprain. A lot of these are just questionable. Sean Monahan is long-term IR while recovering from groin surgery. He is out for this season. David Savard had a knee injury and out for this season. Slavoski, I'm not going to try his first name. He has a lower body ailment and he is out for the season. Alex Bazile has a leg fracture, which is nasty. I think I saw a clip of that hit. I apologize. I skipped down low and now I'm back at the top. And Paul Byron is recuperating from season procedure to repair a lower body injury and is expected out for the rest of the season, but I'm pretty sure he hasn't played.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting choice.
I think it was that he was maybe going to come back, and now they're just like, nah, we're not even in the playoffs. Stay home, dude.
For Nashville, we have Matt Duchene is out. Oh, I liked Duchene too. Has a hand injury. He's considered week to week, but also listed as out indefinitely. Roman Josi is out until mid-April. Again, a couple of weeks here with an upper body injury. Jeremy Lazon is out with, an upper body issue, listed as out indefinitely, as is Cole Smith, who has an upper body injury as well. And then New Jersey, we just have Curtis Lazar, is out of action with a lower body ailment, listed as out indefinitely. That was as of the 21st, which was our last recording day, so I apologize if I brought him up before.
I don't think so.
The Islanders also have nobody new going on. Alexander Romanov did sit out a game, but may be back this week, so hopefully. The Rangers just have Ryan Lindgren, who is probable for tomorrow night, so hopefully he is back as well. For Ottawa, we have Derek Brassard. He is sidelined for the rest of the season. He's recuperating from surgery because he broke his fibula, so lower leg bone, for those of you that don't know. Jacob Chychrun is also hurt right now. He's expected back in a couple of weeks, though. Same with Thomas Chabot. He has an upper body injury and expected back mid-April as well. Parker Kelly is has a broken kneecap and is going to be out for the rest of the season. I hadn't read what happened to him yet.
Wow.
That makes my knees hurt.
Yeah.
For Philly, Sean Courtier this is just updated, but he is for sure out for the season. He did have that back surgery revision. And Carter Hart has a lower body injury and is listed as out indefinitely for right now. For Pittsburgh, Dmitry Kulikov should be back mid-April. He is on IR with a lower body injury right now. Marcus Pettersson is on long-term IR as well with a lower body injury. May be back mid-April. Same with Jan Rutta is back mid-April as well. For San Jose, we have Alexander Barbanoff. Is expected to miss the rest of the season with a lower body injury. Andreas Janssen is out with a lower body injury, listed as out indefinitely now, so may or may not be back this year. Luke Kunin is out. He is also having ACL surgery, so he is out
Lots
for
of
the rest of
ACLs.
this season. Yeah, it is that time of year for ACLs,
Yeah.
unfortunately. But those are the big ones for San Jose. For Seattle, John Hayden had surgery for a lower body injury and is expected to miss 12 weeks, so late June, which sucks for him.
Yeah.
For St. Louis, Thomas Grease is undergoing a procedure to correct a lower body injury. He is listed as out indefinitely. Doubt he'll be back since they're not making the playoffs. And it was just updated today, but Marco Scandella is definitely out for the rest of the year as well.
Yeah. Again, they're not making the playoffs, so they probably just told him to stay home.
At this point, you might as well just be out when you've had serious things going on.
Yeah.
But I did love Scandella when he played up here, too.
Yeah.
For Toronto, Eric Gustafsson is out dealing with personal matter, but maybe back in a couple of weeks in mid-April. Bobby McMahon is on long-term IR with a knee injury. The severity right now is unknown, so he's just listed as out indefinitely. Victor Met is on long-term IR with lower body injury, maybe back mid to late April. Matt Murray, all of us are devastated, I'm sure. But so I shouldn't joke about it. I didn't know he had a head injury.
Yeah.
I'm not going to joke about that. But you know how we feel about Matt Murray around.
Yeah.
But he is listed as questionable, but I've also heard today, I was reading something that said that it was likely going to be longer than that. Ryan O'Reilly may be back as soon as mid-April, but he did have that fractured finger, like right after he got traded up there. I think he played 2 or 3 games or something.
For a
I
minute.
think he took a shot to the hand.
Yeah, something like that. I mean,
happened.
it was a nasty hit. Like, not nasty in the injury way, not that it was dirty or anything.
Yeah.
For Vancouver, we have Oliver Ekman-Larsson is on IR with an ankle sprain, expected to be out for the rest of the season. The sprain, interesting. I mean, sometimes they can be nasty. It doesn't help when I click my buttons.
Well, I guess
on my
too, again, the
Instagram.
Canucks aren't going anywhere, so.
That's true. That's very true.
God, are they ever not?
That's what you get. Philip Hronek is going to be out the rest of the season with a shoulder injury. Noah Juleson is out with a lower body injury for the rest of the season. Velasi Podkolzin?
Vasily Podkolzin, yeah.
Yeah, something. That's a newer name for me. But
yeah,
he is,
I think he might be an AHLer, honestly. I don't know.
He might be. And maybe he's got his picture.
Yeah, so
on
I
here,
guess
and
not.
sometimes when they're AHLers, they don't have their picture yet.
What
but
a great
who
first
knows?
name, though. Vasily. That's such
Vasily,
a great,
yeah.
Hockey player's first name. But he is sidelined with an unknown issue, currently listed as indefinitely. And Christian Wolian, he has a lower body injury and is out indefinitely as well. For Vegas, really nobody knew. Logan Thompson has a lower body injury. It might be back in a couple more weeks.
They're going to want him back for the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really Trevor Van Riemsdyk, who is out with the upper body injury. So maybe back mid-April, so another week or so. And for Winnipeg, nobody really knew. Or long term.
Yeah.
Well, they're both longer term, but nobody knew. So that's probably the fastest injury segment we have done yet. But it kind of gives you the idea of where especially the playoff teams go. And maybe we'll just kind of start eventually paying attention more to the playoff teams and not every team in the NHL.
Yeah.
Montreal, man, I can't list all the European injured players anymore.
There's too many
It's
of them.
There's
nuts.
too many of them. It would take
There's
me half an hour
104.
just to say it. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. 4 days of summer vacation, and also $3 players that are injured. That took me a while, but I got there. It was good.
It was good. It was worth it. I appreciate it.
100%. 100%. You said 104, and that's just where my brain went.
I mean, that's fair.
Immediately.
Fair. All right. Well, I think this brings us to one of my favorite segments, which is our obscure NHL player of the week. So, Chris, who are we learning about today?
We are learning about a player named Steve Rooney. Steve Rooney was born in Canton, Massachusetts, a New England boy. Which, for
Love New
those that
England
know,
boy.
as a New England boy myself, we love to see it. He was drafted 88th overall in the 1981 draft to the Montreal Canadiens. Does anyone want to take a guess at what he did?
He left the ice mid-game to take a shit.
100%. That's absolutely what happened. Absolutely.
Okay.
Massive
I love
That's
it
dunk
when
what
I'm
grade.
he's
right.
mostly known for. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's
100%.
100%. And he's
That's
most
gotta
notably
get.
most notably famous for the quote he had after said you're not going to want to go in there for like 45 minutes.
Right. How much
no.
time do we have left in the game? Because you do not.
Don't
Yeah,
even
I'd just
fucking
stay
think
away.
about going.
Yeah.
He played 38 games for the Montreal Canadiens in 1985-86 when they won the Stanley Cup.
Wow.
He played a good nice little chunk of games in the NHL. 154 career starts in the show. 16
That's not bad.
I'm sorry. 15 goals, 13 assists for a total of 28 points. He even had 3 playoff goals.
Wow.
2 playoff assists. Here's the number we all want.
Yeah, it is.
496 penalty minutes.
Oh my God,
Wow.
dude. What did you do?
He had
Damn.
86 in the playoffs.
Damn, is he getting ejected from every game at that point? What the fuck?
It was, yeah. It was the 80s. That's
It's true. It was 86.
80s hockey
Yeah.
is
So
That's fair.
So you could tell that the league has changed since, because when he got drafted, he actually spent 4 years at Providence College. That is a thing that you cannot do anymore in the NHL. The only sport that actually still allows players to be drafted and go to college is the MLB. Baseball is the only sport you can actually do that to this day. But he played 4 years at Providence College. Then he played 3 different seasons with the Canadiens, 2 seasons with the Jets, played a season with the Devils, and spent the rest of his career in the minors. Most notably, this is cool for me. He played for the New Haven Nighthawks for a season, which is a now defunct AHL team that was in New Haven, Connecticut. I don't even know where they went. I think they just folded.
They might not have gone anywhere. They might have gone into that sweet, sweet night.
Oh no, I'm sorry. They are the Belleville Senators now.
Meh. I'm gonna go with my version of history instead. Thank you.
They just didn't go anywhere.
They just didn't go anywhere.
But yeah, he is currently where did I see? He currently works for Alpha Delta Inc. in Boston, and his nephew is Kevin Rooney, who plays for the Calgary Flames.
Wow. Would you look at that?
Which is super cool, and it's cool that he won a cup.
His
really name wasn't on the cup because the league minimum rule is still 41 games. He just barely missed that.
Damn. That sucks.
Dude,
especially when you have 3 fucking playoff goals to get you there and you don't get your name on the cup. I'd feel so fucking jaded, man.
I know.
Oof. Sorry, Steve.
Dude, he had 114 penalty minutes that year. And this is in the 80s when the Habs, the Habs notably through the NHL's history have been amazing. Yeah. Obviously not this century, but there you go. Oh, but Chris, they played at the Stanley Cup Finals. Yeah, but did they really though, or were they handed a Stanley Cup Final?
Right.
let's not,
Let's get
not
this
beat around the
straight.
bush. Let's call a duck, and let's be
Yeah.
real. But yeah, no, he
Love it.
I think it's pretty cool that he is had a nice little cup of coffee in the show. 154
Yeah.
games ain't nothing to sneeze at. So
No, absolutely not. And
Right.
423 minutes or whatever the fuck it was ain't nothing to sneeze at either. Holy
496
shit.
penalty minutes.
Wow. So 500
is
penalty minutes,
Basically
basically.
500. If you combine
Yeah.
his AHL and IHL numbers and his like college numbers, my man is at like 700 fucking penalty minutes.
Damn,
He
dude.
spent a lot of time in the
Wow.
box.
He's just it's his favorite place on earth. You know what I mean?
It
It's
must
where
be.
he
It
goes to,
100%.
I don't know, regenerate or
I mean,
something.
the box is nice. It's you're in there by yourself sometimes. It's nice
Yeah.
nice and cozy. Sometimes they have heated
You get
benches.
to take a little seat.
Exactly.
Right.
It's nice.
It's pretty nice in there, not gonna lie. I
Yeah.
cannot confirm nor deny that I spent a fair amount of time in there. My playing career, but that is neither here
Oh.
nor there.
It is neither place. Well, thank
Indeed.
you, Chris. That was
You're
interesting.
welcome.
I love it when you pick I want to see a guy who played like 7 games and has like 40 minutes. You know what I mean?
Dude, I know.
That's what I
Right.
want.
He's
I
got
want
more
him to
penalty
be a
minutes than
Stanley
ice
Cup
time.
winner. Exactly. That's what I want. Next. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
At some point we need that.
All right, so next
Um,
week, that's my job. I'm searching for
That's
that
your
player.
job. You got to fucking get on it, Chris. Be our
There
That's
you
my
go.
fucking that's my
researcher.
fucking white whale.
Right?
That is my Moby Dick.
It's the Moby Dick. Perfect.
He played one
Well-
game, 17 penalty minutes.
There has to be someone out there like that, though. There
Oh,
has
I'm
to be.
sure. I am
You know what I
sure.
mean?
We just gotta find him.
We just got to find him. If you know who that is, tell us in the comments, either on YouTube or on the podcast or wherever. If you have this knowledge in your brain, dump it into ours. For the
Please
love
share.
of God, please.
Yeah,
We
absolutely.
will discuss
Please
that
share.
person in
Make
full
Chris's
detail.
life easier
That's a lot of
And
research,
and make
you
my life
guys.
complete. I know.
So much research.
Speaking of our comment section, if you would like to drop a question of the week, we will answer it. Maybe, if you're lucky. So drop a comment in there. Let us know what questions you have for us. Or just let us know if you disagree with who we think was a disappointment, a surprise, who we think is going to take home the whole shebang on that. Again, we are... Actually, I don't think I need to say that. I was going to go into... Never mind. You know what?
Yeah.
Never mind. You don't get to
You know
know
what?
was in
You
my
guys
brain.
don't deserve that knowledge.
You don't deserve it.
Apparently,
Just kidding.
I'm offended because I want to know, but fine, whatever.
I was just gonna go into like the whole schedule bit, and I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
they don't. Anyway. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us for another episode of the Pucked Up podcast. We will see you guys in the face-off circle next week, mother puckers.